So in the last class, we developed our first application by using JDBC. Can you tell me quickly what is JDBC and why we need to go for JDBC? JDBC stands for Java Database Connectivity. It is used to develop Java applications which can communicate with database. Java is one programming language, JDBC one software. Java is used to develop the application, database is used to store the data. Humans can connect with the database by using client software. Similarly, my application also wants to connect with the database to store the data or to perform the operation. If a Java application wants to connect with the database, we need a mediator. Who is acting as a mediator? JDBC. JDBC is a API. There is no logic to communicate with the database. Database communication logic provided by database vendors. Which vendors provided logic for communication with JDBC? All the database vendors. There are so many database vendors available in the market. All the database vendors provided implementation for JDBC API. What is the meaning of providing implementation for JDBC API? They developed some classes and they provided those classes for them. They developed some classes and they provided those classes. By using those classes, we can communicate with the database by using our Java application. Mainly they provided a driver. What is a driver? What is a driver? Driver is the one. Driver is a program which will connect with the database, will establish a connection. If you want to connect with a database, connection is mandatory or connection is optional? Connection is mandatory. Without having a connection with the database, we cannot connect with the database. Who will establish that connection? Driver. Once a connection is created, we can create the statement. By using statement, we can execute the query. So do you know what are the steps we need to write to develop a JDBC program? Yep. What are those steps? First step is load the driver. Second step, get the connection. Third step, create the statement. Fourth step, execute the query. Then process the result. Then close the connection. What is the purpose of statement? Statement is used to execute the query. To create the statement, we need connection. To create the connection, we need driver. Where the driver will be available? jar file. How to use the driver from the jar file? By adding the jar file to build path. So if you are going for Oracle database, Oracle driver we need to use. Oracle driver will be available in OJDBC 14 jar file. If you are using MySQL database, MySQL driver will be available in MySQL connector. We need to set the class path for MySQL connector and we need to load the driver. Then we can write our program. Are you able to develop that program? Yes, working? Yes, sir. Anybody facing a problem? No. Easy? Yes. Now, today I want to insert one record into database table. Can you tell me the code for that? Yeah. So see the table, select star from books. There are two records available. Java record is available and Python record is available. Now I want to insert DevOps record. I want to insert one more record into database table. Okay, this is my project. 1 minute. I have noted down the username, password, and driver class. Go to the build path. Yeah. Done. Okay. So this is my class. Insert book. I want to insert one record into database table. This is my JDBC URL to connect with MySQL database. If you are using Oracle database, this URL is going to change. Every database will have its own URL. This URL will work with MySQL database. And this is my database username. This is my database password. So what is the first step I need to do? Can you tell me, guys? First, what is the first step that I need to do? I need to load the driver. Can you tell me how to load the driver? Class.forName. What is class.forName? What is the purpose of the class.forName? Class is a predefined class in the java.lang package. For name is a static method which is used to load any class into JVM's memory. Okay, I want to load that driver class. Can you tell me the class name? com dot mysql dot cj dot jdbc dot driver. So this class is given by Sun Microsystem. This class given by Sun Microsystem? No. Who given this class? MySQL database. This class given by MySQL database. Can I call this is a driver class to connect with the MySQL database? Yes, this is a driver class which is given by MySQL database to connect with MySQL database. Yes, driver is loaded. Once the driver is loaded by using class.forName, what is the next step? What is the next step? We need to get the connection. So to get the connection, do you know any method? Yes. What is that method? Driver manager dot get connection. What is the driver manager? Class. That is a class. In that class, we are having get connection. Get connection is a static method or instance method. How can you say static? Correct. We are calling that method by using class name dot method name. That means it is a static method. Driver manager dot get connection. First parameter is URL. Second parameter username. Third parameter password. I declared those three values here as the static variables. I'm referring them. Why I declared them as a static final? Is it going to change from object to object? No. For all the objects, same data. Is the data is going to change in future? No. That is the reason I declared them as static final. Yes. I'm calling driver manager dot get connection. So what is the purpose of this method? Get connection. Get the connection. Okay. That method will give the connection. How to store that connection? Can I store that into a variable? Yes. Connection con is equal to variable. Connection we need to import from java.sql. Yes, I got the connection. 2 steps completed. Loading the driver completed. Creating the connection completed. What is the next step? We need to create the statement. Is it mandatory? That person speaking loudly. Why it is not mandatory, man? Do we need to create the statement? Is it mandatory or is it optional? Some voices are down now. Mandatory or optional? Are you sure? Optional. If it is optional, how you will execute query? How you will execute query without statement? So statement object is mandatory. Without statement object, you cannot execute a query. You just get the connection by using these 2 lines. Why we are getting the connection? To perform some operation, right? How to perform operation with the database? By using a query. So how to execute the query? By using statement. Without statement, can we execute the query? No. So statement is mandatory or optional? Mandatory. So when you are answering a question, apply your common sense. Don't buttify the code. I asked you a question. Statement is optional or mandatory. You need to understand what is the purpose of statement. Statement is used to execute the query. Without executing the query, there is no use of connection. If you want to perform some operation with the database, you need to execute a SQL query. Without SQL query, you cannot do anything. To execute that SQL query, statement is required. Without statement, we can't do anything. Clear? Now, so how to create a statement? Can you tell me? Come on. Con dot create statement. Con dot create statement. So what that method is going to return? That method is going to return statement. Statement STMT. Variable name can be anything. Statement. What is the package I need to import? java.sql. Oh, fine. I got the statement. By using statement, I can execute a query. What type of query we can execute? DML and DQL. What is the difference between DML and DQL? Non-select queries and select query. Now, I want to insert one record into table. So it is select query or non-select query? Non-select query. To execute non-select query, what method we need to call? Execute query or execute update? Execute update. Are you sure? When to go for execute query? If you want to retrieve the data. So that means coding is not something that we can butify. Based on the requirement, we need to think and we need to write. So from the front end, user is performing registration. When user perform a registration, we need to insert the data in the table. At that time, we need to use which method? Execute update. Execute update is the method available in the statement. By using that method, we can execute non-select query. We want to insert the data. If you want to update the data or if you want to delete the data, that is non-select operation. We need to call execute update. What is the return type of execute update method? What is the return type of execute update method? Integer or string? Are you sure? Integer. What is that integer represents? Number of rows affected with the given query. What query we are executing? With that query, how many rows affected in the table will return by execute update method. Are you clear? Right. First I need a insert query. Now private static final string. I'm going to write insert SQL. I'm taking my query as a variable, guys. Insert into books values. Already 2 records available. I'm going to insert third record DevOps some 4000. That's it. Okay. So this is my insert query. My query is ready. Now I want to execute that query. Can you tell me the method? Come on. Speak out. Can I call directly con.execute update? No. Where is that method available? In the statement. So tell me the code. Come on. stmd dot execute update. What is the parameter? Insert query. That insert SQL we need to pass as a parameter. What is the return type of this method? That method return type is a integer. What that integer represents? Rows affected. How many rows affected in the database? It will represent that. Now let me print that. Records inserted. Records inserted. I'm just printing that variable value which is rows affected. Then after we need to close the connection. Why we need to close the connection? Right, to release the connection for the other programmers. And along with that, internally whenever you close the connection, transaction will be committed. Our data will be stored permanently in the database. Our data will be stored permanently in the database. Okay, this is my logic. Loading the driver, getting the connection, creating the statement, executing the query, processing the result, closing the connection. That's it. Are you good with this? Do we need to butify anything? Do we need to butify anything? Right. Now let me run this program. Before running this program, let me check in the database. How many rows available? 2 records available. 2 rows available in the database. Let me run this program. Run as Java application. I'm running this program. Wow. Very good. We got exception. What is that exception? Class not found exception. Which class it is not able to find? com.mysql.cj.jdbc.driver. What is that class? Whose class it is? Is it our class? Is it Java class? Sun Microsystem class? That is MySQL database class. Why we need that class? Why we need that class, guys? That class is called as our driver. Chotu भाई क्या कर रहा? Right. So that class is a database driver class. So we need to load that driver. Where that driver class is available? Where the driver class available? Driver class is available in jar file. I know that. You know that. That class available in the jar file. Our JVM don't know. Our JVM don't know that that class is available in the jar file. Can we tell to JVM to load the class from the jar file? Yes. How to tell to JVM to load the class from jar file? By using build path. What is build path? What is build path? Which is used to load the classes from the jar files. Which is used build path basically used to tell JVM to load the dot classes from the given jar file. What is the difference between class path and build path? Both are same. Class path, build path, both are same. I'm not asking path and build path. I'm asking class path and build path. Both are same. If you set from command prompt, that is called class path. If you set from IDE, that is called build path. Right. I don't know how to set the build path. Can you help me? Come on. Right click. Right click. Build path. Configure build path. Libraries. Add external jars. Where that jar file is there? Yes. Select that jar file. Open. Apply. Close. Done. Build path is completed. I given the jar file in the WhatsApp group. Able to download? Right click. Sorry. Run as Java application. Okay. Now see this. Record inserted 1. That means now that jar file we added to build path, JVM loading this driver class from the build path. Okay, go to database and check this. Select star from books, run this. Can you see record is inserted? Record is inserted successfully. With this, we are able to perform one non-select operation by using statement. We are able to perform non-select operation by using statement. Code is difficult or easy? Is there anything difficult, guys? Load the driver, get the connection, create the statement, execute the query, process the result, close the connection. Core Java easy, advanced Java easy? Which is easy? If you know core Java, then advanced Java is easy. If you know core Java, then advanced Java is easy, right? Now, fine. Did you complete, delete as well as update? Right? Now, I want to delete this record Python. I don't like this Python. I want to delete. Can you tell me? Can you tell me the query for that? Yes. Let me write one more class. Delete book. Okay. Do I need to learn anything new to delete that? No. Same steps. Same steps. Can I copy these variables, guys? URL, username, password. Static variables outside the method, inside the class. Database URL, database username, database password. Perfect. I have a main method. First, can you tell me the delete query? Private, static, final, string. I'm taking it as delete SQL. Delete SQL. Yeah, come on. What is the query? Delete from books where book ID is equal to some 2. 102. 102. Book ID is equal to 102. So this is my delete query. So tell me the steps to delete that record by using my Java program. Come on, fast. Class dot for name. What class? What is the class name? Com dot MySQL dot CJ dot JDBC dot driver. This will give some checked exception. Throws exception. Throws exception. Perfect. Next step. Driver is loaded. What is the next step? Connection. I need to get the connection. Mandatory or optional? All the 5 steps are mandatory. Okay. All the 5 steps are mandatory. Class dot for name. I'm able to load the class. Next one. Driver manager dot get connection. To get the connection, what we need to supply? Database URL, database username, database password. Sir, instead of giving the URL first, can I give username password, then can I give the URL? Why? Why? That method is that means that method is connecting to the database to get the connection, right? Whatever you give first, it will treat as a URL. It will treat as a URL. Whatever you give second, it will treat as username. Whatever third one you will give, it will treat as a password. Can we change the order? No. What is the order? URL, username, password. Excellent. URL, username, password. What is the return type of this method, guys? Get connection method will return what? It is going to return connection object from java.sql package. Okay. Driver manager connection from SQL package. I got the connection. Next, create a statement. Con dot create statement. What it is going to return? It is going to return statement object. Once we got the statement, next step. See here how I am getting statement automatically. You know the shortcut, right? Don't think that I'm doing some magic. Right. So see here, I'm calling the method getting the statement automatically. Control +1 plus enter. I'm using shortcut. Eclipse shortcut video I have given already. Right. I'm storing that into a variable. Then next, I got the statement. What next? What next? I need to execute the delete query. So delete query is a non-select query or select query? Non-select query. To execute non-select query, which method we need to use? Execute update. stmd dot execute update. Give our query. Delete SQL. That's it. What is the return type of this method? This method is going to return integer. That is something like a count. Count. Next one. System dot out dot println rows affected. Okay. Next, let me print that count. After that, con dot close. Con dot close. I'm closing this connection. Before executing this program, let us see. Select star from books, run the query. There are 3 records available in the database. Now I am executing my delete program. Check it. Class dot for name to load the driver, getting the connection, creating the statement, execute update to execute that query. It is returning the number of rows affected. Then I am closing the connection. Right click, run as Java application. Rows affected 1. Go to database. Python gone. That record got deleted from database table. Yes, with this we understood how to insert a record, how to delete a record. Similarly, can we update also? Did you try that? So what is going to change? Just query is going to change. Anything difference? No. Code is same. Only this query is going to change. Can you tell me the query for update? Update book set price is equal to some value where ID is equal to given value. Like that we can write a update query to update that record. Do I need to develop that? Now, next one. Let us go for select operation. I want to perform select operation. What is the meaning of select operation? What is the meaning of select operation, guys? I want to retrieve the data. I want to retrieve the data. So generally, to retrieve the data, we are writing a query select star from books. Select star from books. Execute it. So when I execute this query, what is happening? I'm getting some records. I'm getting some records. Now I want to develop that application. Select books. Select books. Yes. Take these credentials. Query also. Select SQL. My query is select star from books. I want to retrieve all the records from the books. Or do you want to retrieve only single record? Anything is fine, right? If I want to retrieve only one record, where? Select star from books where ID is equal to 101. Then I will get one record. Let me go with one record first. Where book underscore ID is equal to 101. Select star from books. select star from books where book ID is equal to 101. Correct? Yeah. So this is my select query. What is the purpose of this query, guys? What this query will do? It is going to retrieve single record from database table. So this is the select query. To work with the select query, which method we need to use? Execute update or execute query? Execute query. So what is the parameter for execute query method? What is the parameter for execute query method? Come on. String SQL. Which query you want to execute? That query we need to give as a parameter for execute query method. What is the return type of this method? Yesterday we learnt about execute update. That method also taking query. Execute query method also taking query. Execute update method returning integer as a return type. Execute query method returning result set. What is the result set? What is the result set? It is a object which will hold the data given by our query, our select query. Now, if I execute this select query, how many rows it will return? Only one row or multiple rows? Only one row, because I'm using where class, where book ID is equal to 101. It will return one record. It will return one record. Yes, fine. So the data will come from the database table and the data will be stored into result set object. I want to get the data from the result set. I want to print on the console. I'm executing one Java program to retrieve the record from the table based on book ID is equal to 101. This is a select query. I'm going to use execute query method. Execute query method will retrieve the record from the table and will store the data in the result set object. We need to get the data from result set object and we need to print on the console. Are you guys clear? Yes. Let's do that. Start. Yeah. Tell me the code. Come on. Next 10 days, same code. Any change? Any change in the steps? No change. What is going to change? Only query is going to change. Hold on. People are learning JDBC for 3 months in other institutes. Is it really required? If they are learning JDBC for 3 months, what is the meaning of that? What is the meaning of that? That faculty don't know what is happening in high-tech city. He know only Amirpet. JDBC, Java Database Connectivity. I am the only faculty who will teach JDBC for 3 months. You are the only one who is teaching 3 months. Nobody will teach that. Why? Why we don't teach JDBC for 3 months? Waste of time. Even if you teach JDBC for 3 months, apart from these 6 lines, any other steps extra is going to do? Do we need to do any extra step here? Nothing. You just want to connect with the database. You need to query the data. You need to perform the operation, close the connection. That's it. Khatam. 10 days more than sufficient for JDBC. If you spend more than 10 days, that means you are wasting your time. Anyhow, in the interview or in the company, are they going to ask you how to connect with the database using JDBC? They will ask you, what is Hibernate? Can you tell me how you are using Hibernate in your project? Can you tell me how Spring Boot will be integrated with the Hibernate? Can you tell me how to use JPA? How to work with the JPA in the project? That is the next level. That is what people are using in the industry. JDBC outdated 10 years back, not now. But some basics of JDBC required to understand Hibernate and JPA. We are learning that basics now. Fine. Good. And that too, one more thing. Core Java is very important because Core Java updates are coming. Core Java updates are coming. New versions of Core Java. Java 8. 6 o'clock people have seen how programmatic style got changed with Java 8. Whatever we are learning and what we learned in the Java 8, it is completely different. The style of writing the programs are completely different. That is a new change in the Java. Then if you go for Java 11, Java 17, Java 19. So for core Java, the new versions are coming. Any new version coming for JDBC? For servlet? For JSP? No. Why? Nobody is using that. That is the reason. So new versions, new updates are there only for core Java. And new updates are there for JPA. New updates are there for Spring Boot, but not for servlet, but not for JSP, but not for JDBC. Because demand is not there. Demand is not there. So Oracle company doing the business. Oracle company doing the business. How they are doing the business? Demand and supply. Demand and supply. What is the meaning of demand and supply? Economics, social, economics, demand and supply. What is the meaning of that? Which product having more demand, they will supply those products more. Okay, so for Java, demand is there. That's why new features they are adding to the Java. But for servlets and JSP, demand is not there. That's why they are not making any changes. For Spring, demand is there. They are making new changes in the Spring. For Spring Boot, huge demand is there. They are making changes for the Spring Boot. Recently, Spring Boot 3.x came into market. New version of the Spring Boot came into the market. Got my point? But for servlets, for JDBC, for JSP, no new versions. Whatever I have studied 10 years back, same thing is there today also. No updates, no enhancements, because demand is not there for that in the market. Right. Fine. Tell me, I want to retrieve the data from the table by using Java program. Can you tell me the code? Come on, fast. Class dot for name. What is the purpose of this? To load the class into JVM. Which class we need to load? Come on, com dot, MySQL dot, CJ dot, JDBC dot, driver. Okay, next step. It is giving some exception. How to ignore that exception? I'm not interested to handle. Ignore it. How to ignore it? Throws exception. I'm giving throws exception. That's it. Next point. Driver manager dot get connection. URL, username, password. Very good. What is the return type? Connection object. I got the connection object. Next. What next? We need to create a statement. Con dot create statement. Con dot create statement. What is the return type? Statement object. Statement object. Next. Statement dot execute update or execute query. Because we are executing a select query. To execute select query, we need to use execute query method. To execute non-select query, we will use execute update method. Execute query. Execute query. Okay, fine. Let me pass select SQL. Select SQL. What is the return type of this? What is the return type of this? Result set. Now, finally, I need to close my connection. I need to close the connection. Okay. Our data is available in which object now? RS. Our data is available in which object now? Our data is available in the RS object. Okay. Can I print this RS object to see our data? Let's try. Let's try. I'm printing RS. System.out.println of RS. Okay. When I print one object, what will happen? When I print one object, what will happen? ToString method will be called. Which ToString method? Our ToString method are object class ToString method. Object class ToString method. Why object class ToString method? Super class. That is the default super class for every Java class. Right. Right click, run as Java application. Can you see that? Wow. We got result set IMPL. Result set IMPL object is printed. Is there any use of printing like this? No. What we need to do? we need to get the data. We need to get the data. Okay, let's understand one small concept here. I have a database. In the database, I have records. Table is available. My table name is books. In the books table, there are 3 columns available: book ID, name, and price. Right? 101 Java, some price available, something like this. Okay, and some 102 DevOps, some price available. Like this, there are 2 records available in my database table. Good. Now I want to retrieve data from this table. For that, we are using execute query method. When we execute a select query, we are going to get the data, and that data will be stored into result set object. The data will be stored into result set object. How it got that data? I have executed one select query. Now with that select query, database table has returned a row. Execute query method. Execute query method. It has given data. All right. So my Java program called one method called execute query. When it execute that query, the database query got executed. A SQL query got executed. That SQL query returned one record. That record we got into our Java program. That record is stored into our result set object. Now where is the record? Record available in the database. From database, we retrieved that record. After retrieving that record, the record is available in result set object. Record is available in the result set object. Now, when we get the record in the result set object, it will be available like this: 101 Java 1000. I'm retrieving a particular record based on ID. Assume that my record is available like this in the result set. Result set object will maintain data based on indexes. Based on indexes. So this is one row. One row is created. Row indexes will be available and columns also will be available. So the record book ID, book name, book price. If I execute this query, select star from books where book ID is equal to 101. If I execute this query, it will interact with the database table. It will retrieve that record. It will store that record into result set object. Are you guys getting my point? It is available. The record came from the database and that record stored into result set object. Now we need to get the data and we need to print on the console. From where I need to get the data to print on the console? From result set or from database? From result set. Why? From database already we retrieved. The data came from the database. That data is available in the result set. We need to get the data from the result set object and we need to print on the console. Are you able to follow me? We need to get the data from the result set object and we need to print on the console. All right. Here, result set object will maintain a cursor. Able to follow this, guys? Remember, this is very important now. When we get the result set object, to get the data from the result set object will maintain one cursor. Result set object will maintain cursor. That cursor always will point before first record. So the cursor is pointing to the record or cursor is pointing before first record? Cursor is pointing before first record. If I want to access the data from the result set, I need to move the cursor from this position to this position. Okay, then I can get that row. After getting that row, again I will move the cursor from that position to next position to get the next row. After that, I will move the cursor to next position to get the next record. Are you clear? Now, remember, whenever we get the data from the database table by using statement, you will get the data in the form of result set object. Result set object will maintain our data as rows, but result set object will give you a cursor to get the data. That cursor always will point before first record. Okay, now we need to move the cursor to next position to get the data. We need to move the cursor to next position to get the data. So there must be some method which is used to move the cursor, which is used to get the data. I don't know what methods available, how to find out that. Come on. People are not speaking. Result set is given by whom? Ashok idea. Who has given the result set? Who given result set? Varakila. JDBC. Who given the result set, guys? JDBC. In the result set, some methods will be available to move the cursor to get the data. First, I have a question. What is result set? Result set is used to store the data which given by select query. When I execute a select query, it will retrieve some data from the database table. It will store into result set object. Now, result set object will maintain data in the rows. Okay. If I want to get the rows, first I need to move the cursor. Where the cursor is pointing now? Where the cursor is pointing now? Cursor is pointing before first record. If I want to get the first record, I need to move the cursor to next position. Cursor is available before first record. I need to move the cursor to next position. Then I need to get the data. After getting the first row, then I will move the cursor to next position. I will get the data. Then I will move the cursor to next position to get the data. But in our scenario, how many rows we will get from the table? Only one row. So how many times we need to move the cursor? Only one time. Just to move the cursor to our row, then cursor will point to our row. Once the cursor is pointing to our row, then get the data. Are you clear? Yes. Some methods will be available in the result set. Where we can find those methods? JSE API. In the JSE API, we can go to result set interface. In that result set, what methods are available? We will see which method we can use. We will understand that. Can we go to API? Yes. Yeah. Go to result set interface in the JSE API. JSE API documentation. We are using Java 8 now. Java 8 API documentation. Okay. Result set available in which package, guys? Java.sql package. Go to java.sql. Perfect. Java.sql package. Interfaces. What is this? Result set. Go to result set. Okay. Read it. Come on. If you read it, you will understand the story of the result set. Read it. What is result set? Understood? Read it. Online people. You need to read the story to understand what is result set and how to work with the result set. A table of data representing a database result set, which is usually generated by executing a statement that queries the database. If you execute a select query, then you are going to get the data in the form of result set. A result set object maintains a cursor pointing to its current row of data. Always a cursor will point to current row of the data. Initially, the cursor position before the first row. So is it my statement or Sun Microsystem statement? Sun Microsystem statement. Whenever we retrieve the data by using a select query, that data will be available in the form of result set. Result set will maintain a cursor to point the rows. But initially, result set cursor will be available before first row. If you want to get the row data, move the result set cursor to the row position. How to move the cursor to the row position? The next method moves the cursor to the next row, and because it returns false, there are no more rows in the result set object. That means next method we are calling in the result set will return true or false value. Whenever we call rs.next, a cursor is available here. On this cursor, I'm calling rs.next. What is the meaning of rs.next? Move the cursor to next position. So initially my cursor is available before the first row. When I call rs.next, what happened? The cursor moved from that position to row. Do we have any row in that position? Yes. Then what this method will return? True. Yes, there is a row. If row is available, we can get the data. After getting that data, I am calling again rs.next on the result set. When I call rs.next, what it will return now? False. Why? We have only one row. We have only one row. Now tell me, when that next method will give true, when that next method will give false. If there is a record in the result set, it will give true. If there is no record in the result set, it will give false value. Are you clear with that? Yeah. Now, so blindly don't get the data from the result set. Always check in that result set row is available or not. Can you use like this? If rs dot next, rs dot next. What is the return type of rs dot next? What is the return type of rs dot next? Boolean. If it is true, condition satisfy. If a condition satisfy, then I want to get the data. What data we got from the database? I'm getting book ID, book name, book price. Are you clear? Good. Yes, let's see here. rs dot get int. rs dot get int of column label. What is our column label? Book ID. What is the column label? Book ID. So I'm storing book ID into one variable. Similarly, I know that book ID is an integer value. That's why I'm calling rs dot get int. Okay, next one. rs dot get string. What is the next value? That is book name. Book name. Let me store that into book name. Okay, guys. Next one. Book price. rs dot get double of what is the column name? Column name is book price. Book price. Okay, double price. I got it. System dot out dot println book ID. Book ID. System dot out dot println of name and system dot out dot println of price. Okay, why I am using if condition? If next method returns to true, then only I need to execute. Else, what I will do? System.out.println, no records found. If result set next method giving false, what is the meaning of that? There is no row available. If there is no row available, then we are going to get the false value. If it is false value, I will go to else condition directly. If rs.next is true, directly I will go inside that and I will get the data and I will print the data. What is the purpose of next method? Can you tell me? What is the purpose of next method? To move the cursor to next position. What is the return type of the next method? True or false, boolean value. When it will give true, when it will give false. When there is a row, it will give the true. When there is no row, it will give the false. So if you want to get the data, first you need to check there is a row available or not. If row is available, then only get the data. Are you clear? Yes. Can we run the program? Right click, run as Java application. Wow, we are able to get the data. ID 101, name is Java, price is 1000. Suppose if I am going to give it is 1002, 1002. Do we have any record with the given value? With the given ID, is there any record available? No. Then what will happen? What will happen? I will get one empty result set. I will get one empty result set. In the empty result set, cursor will be available. I will move the cursor. How to move the cursor? rs.next. There is no record available. Then what that next method will return? False value. What is the meaning of false? Else block. There is no row. Then directly it will go to else block. It will print no records found. Run as Java application. Now see the output. No records found. Is it working now? Is it working now? Yes. Yes. Make a note. Make a note. Come on. Heading select operation using JDBC. We understood how to perform select operation using JDBC. Make a note of that. Select operation using JDBC. Select operation using JDBC, that is the heading. When we execute select query using JDBC, when we execute select query using JDBC, then we will get the results, we will get the data, we'll get the data from database in the form of result set. When we execute select query using JDBC, then we will get data from database in the form of result set object. In the form of result set object. When we execute select query using JDBC, then we will get data from database in the form of result set object. Result set object will maintain a cursor. Result set object will maintain a cursor which will point to current row. Result set object will maintain a cursor which will point to current row. Note, initially Note, initially result set cursor will point before first row. Result set cursor will point before first row. Before first row. We need to move the cursor to next position. We need to move the cursor to next position. We need to move the cursor to next position by calling next method. By calling next method. Result set object will maintain a cursor which will point to current row. Initially, result set cursor will point before first row. We need to move the cursor to next position by calling next method. Next method. Syntax. Take the syntax of that next method. Boolean next. That is the syntax, guys. Boolean next. Next method return type is Boolean value. Syntax Boolean next. When record is available, when record is present, next method will return true. Otherwise, it will return false. It will return false. Otherwise, it will return false. Take this diagram. This diagram will give you the clarity what is a cursor and how to move the cursor. Take the diagram. Mohan Krishna, it will not happen like that, right? It will not happen. Always rows will be in the order, gaps will not be there in the rows. If there are 3 records, the 3 records will be in the same order. There will not be any gap. No problem. Now then 103 come to second position. Completed, guys? Yeah. You understand how to execute a select query and what is the return type of select query? How to execute select query? How to execute select query? क्या बात कर रहा भाई? How to execute select query? Execute query. What is the return type of execute query? Stop. Hold on. Our brother will tell. What is the return type of execute query method? What is result set? Based on the cursor. What is cursor? What is cursor? Ask your friend. You are talking to him now. What is cursor? Cursor is used to point to the rows in the result set. So now initially where that cursor will be available? Initially cursor will be available before first record. So if I want to get the row, I need to move the cursor to next position. How to move the cursor to next position? By using next method. What is the return type of next method? Boolean. What that boolean represents? True or false? When it will give true, when it will give false? If record is available, it will give true. If record is not available, it will give false value. Just read the points once. Read it. Revision. When we execute select query using JDBC, then we will get a data from database in the form of result set object. When we execute select query using JDBC, then we will get data from database in the form of result set object. Result set object will maintain a cursor which will point to current row. But initially cursor will point before first row. We need to move the cursor to next position by calling next method. So this is the syntax of next method. No parameter, only return type. Return type is boolean. When we call next method, if record is present, it will return true. If record is not present, it will return false. When we can get the data from result set, if row is available. If next method is true, then only we need to get the data. Right. Take this program. Note down the program. Fast, quick. Without looking at this, you need to write the program now. Do you need to look at the board and you need to write? Can you try? Come on, fast. Write it. मेरा पैर अच्छा ना यार, otherwise I will go there and I will check if people are writing or not. Write it. Write it. Come on. I want you to write the complete program. You know the 6 steps, right? Yeah, please do it first. Below the diagram, write the steps. Class, main method. Inside the main method, write the code. Board. If you look at here, nothing will be. You need to write it. Try. 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 Brother, what happened? Right. हो गया. While that means if you have more than one record, yeah. Class import statement नहीं लिखना भाई. Those are not required. Nah. Just write that. Just write the main method part. No need to declare the variables and all. Okay. No need to write the variables. Just write the class main method. That's it. Main method, not just main method, in that logic also. Come on. If you are not able to write, that means you did not understand anything from last 3 days. Don't copy from your friend. Your friend is not James Gosling. Do it on your own. Online people, are you maintaining the notebooks? Please do that. In the classroom only, practice also happening. People are copying from yesterday's program. Arey bhai. Yeah, we'll cover that. That means if you want to know about the database version, minor version, major version. Prepare statement metadata, result set metadata, database metadata. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, guys, look at this. Copy paste. Ah, why? Do you want to attend spring also? If you want, you can attend. Why? Because servlets required when we go to web MVC. That will take another 1 month of time. So you guys can attend spring also, no problem. But it will become high level, not required. I will start spring boot for us in the offline in the month of February. By January, we will complete advanced Java. From February, we will have offline classes only for Spring Boot microservices and project also. Spring Boot microservices project, both will start at a time. One class will be there in the morning, one class will be there in the evening. Both offline. Once the Spring Boot microservice started, you guys cannot attend online, only offline. Day by day, strength is decreasing. Why? They're attending from online. Tomorrow, For offline people, I will remove that Zoom link from the portal. Offline people means they should come for only offline. I will remove that. Otherwise, people are slowly decreasing. Huh. No, I can't do anything. I will remove the Zoom link for the offline people from tomorrow. Offline people means they have to come to the offline class. And from next time, I'm thinking that backup videos also, if we are providing daily, people are becoming lazy. Yesterday, I thought that backup videos we don't provide within 24 hours. Weekly once we will upload the backup videos. If you join for the class, daily you have to attend the class. Otherwise, people are not coming to the classes regularly. Why? Because they are getting the videos. They're getting the videos. They're becoming lazy. Live classes will be interactive. Backup videos means boring, right? So these are the two changes I'm going to do for new batches from now onwards. Yesterday I got this idea. No institute is providing the backup videos for offline as well as online also. Any institute in Amirpet providing backup videos? Nobody. That is the reason people are going to the classes, sitting and listening. As we are giving the backup videos, online, offline flexibility, people are becoming lazy. They are not working hard. I will remove that backup video. Backup video, Sunday will be uploaded for the last week videos. Zoom link will not be there in the portal. You can't attend in the online. You have to come for only offline. I will make those changes. Tomorrow only. ठीक है. No sir, please देखो. For online people, you will attend in the online, na? Online people will attend in the online. For online people, Zoom link will be there. Online people also should attend the classes regularly. Videos you will get weekly once, not daily. Backup videos you will get weekly once, not daily. If I am giving the videos on daily basis, हाँ यार बाद में देख सकते हैं, अभी क्या करना? देवदत्ता घर चले गया. ठीक है. This change we will implement from after Sankranti. अभी बच्चे घर चले गया. So now we have that flexibility from Sankranti. After Sankranti onwards, offline people should come to only offline. They can't do in the online. Right. Okay. Online people should attend the classes regularly. Backup videos will not be uploaded daily. Right? Backup videos will be uploaded only weekly once. That day, that too. On Sunday, we will upload the last week videos. That's it. After Sankranti. Right. Recall कर सकते हैं. Recall you can do it. Weekly once videos will come, not daily. Okay, completed guys. Completed. Yeah. Next one. So as of now, we have written the logic to retrieve single record from the database. Now I want to retrieve multiple records from database. I mean to say I want to retrieve all the records from database. Next, write a requirement. Write a Java program to retrieve all the records from the table and display on the console. Write a Java program requirement. Write a Java program. Write a Java program to retrieve all the records from database table, from the database table and display on the console. Write a Java program to retrieve all the records from the database table and display on the console. Right. I'm going to make the change here. Remove this part. Here, to retrieve all the records, what should be our query, guys? Select star from books. I will remove the where condition. Then it is going to retrieve all the records from the table. Select star from books. It will retrieve all the records from the database table. Now, here I created statement object and I want to execute query. My query is available in the variable. So can you tell me how to execute that query? Come on guys. stmt dot execute update or execute query? Execute query. What is the difference between execute update and execute query? Execute update is used to execute only non-select queries. Execute query is used to execute select queries. Now I want to go for select query. So execute query, select SQL. What is the return type? What is the return type? Result set. What is result set? What is result set, guys? Result set is a object which is used to store the data, given by database. Now, if you see our database table, select star from books. I'm executing that query. There are two rows available. Okay, I'm going to get two rows here. 101 and 103 is available. 103 available, DevOps is available, and some 4000. This is another row which we have in the table. Now I am executing select star from table. Two rows will be available in my result set object. How many times I need to call the next method? One time or two times? Two times, right? See here, first time, where my cursor will be available, guys? Where my cursor is available now? My cursor is available before first row. Do you know how to move the cursor? Yes, how to move the cursor? By here, I am calling rs.next. It will give me true. When I call rs.next, it will give me true because there is one record available in that position. So first my cursor is available before first record. My cursor available before first record. I'm calling rs.next method. It is checking, do we have any record in the first position? Yes, that method is returning true. Then I will get that data. After getting the first record data, I want to check, is there any second record available? Because my query is select star from book. Today 2 records, tomorrow 5 records, 10 records, 100 records, 1000 records, 1 lakh records also. If 1000 records available, 1000 times I need to move the cursor to next position. So first time I'm calling rs.next method. It will check the cursor. It will check record is available in the first position or not. Yes, record is available. Return true. I will get that data. After getting the first row, again I am going to call rs.next method. Second record is available or not available? Second record is also available. Second time also it returned true. Now third time I am calling rs.next. What will happen? False. Why? Because in our table there are only 2 records available. In our table only 2 records available. First time my cursor will be pointing before first record. Then I'm calling rs.next. It is checking there is a record available or not. Yes, record is available. When the record is available, next method will return true. Then I will get the first row data. After getting the first row data, again I am going to call rs.next method. From the first row, it will move to the second position, check record is available or not. Yes, available. Return true. If it is true, I will get the second row data. After getting the second row data, again I am calling rs.next. From second row, the cursor will move to third position. When the cursor moves to third position, is there any record available? No. Then it will give false value. So are you able to understand? How many times I need to call the next method? Based on number of records available. Today we know that 2 records available. But tomorrow, if we don't know how many records available, can we go for a loop? While rs.next, if record is available, give the true. If record is not available, give the false value. Now check this. I got execute query. With this execute query, I got my result set object. Okay. First, I'm doing if rs.next. If means how many times if condition will execute? Only one time. Now here I am going to write system dot out dot println rs dot rs dot get int rs dot get int of book id. Okay. Similarly, system dot out dot println rs dot get string of book name. Book name. System dot out dot println rs dot get double of book price. Book price. Okay. Now, if I execute this program, how many rows it is going to retrieve and print, guys? From database, it will retrieve all the rows. But in the console, how many rows will print? Only one row. Why only one row? I'm moving the cursor only first time. It will go to first row. It will get the first row data. After that, I'm closing my connection. Right click, run as Java application. How many rows we got? Only one row. Now see here, I got the result set object. Result set object having a cursor. Cursor is available before first record. Here I am calling rs.next. If rs.next, it is checking record is available or not. Yes, record available. So true. Condition satisfied. If true, this logic will execute. After that, am I moving the cursor to next position? No. Again, if I want to move the cursor to next position, again I need to write if rs.next. So here I am moving the cursor to first row. Here I am moving the cursor to next row. Then what will happen? Run as Java application. So what will happen now? 2 rows data we are getting. Suppose if I have 10 rows in the table, can I write this for 10 times? We need to write it. We need to write it. But recommended? No. Why not recommended? Duplicate code, right? Is there any difference between this code and this code? No difference. If I have 10 records, 10 times are you going to write this code? Then you are bad programmer. If you write the if condition for 10 times to get the 10 rows data, you are called as bad programmer. Why? Why you are called as a bad programmer if you do like that? You are writing duplicate code for 10 times. You are writing same code for 10 times. Okay, 10 times you have written. My table having 100 records. 100 times you are going to write that logic. Is it recommended? No. Then how to avoid this problem? By using loop. Okay. Now I am going to remove this. I'm going to remove this. Here, instead of if condition, I'm going to write while condition. While. What is the meaning of while? Loop. That logic will execute multiple times. Now see here. First time I got the result set object. The cursor is available before first record while rs.next. That means first time next method is called. It returned true. Then I will get that first row data. Result set object always will point to current row. Result set object always will point to current row. While rs.next, if next is true, that means record is available, get the data, print the data. Once first row data is printed, again while loop will execute. Again it is called rs.next. That means it will go to second row. Second row available or not available? Available. Then what will happen? Get the second row data, print it. After printing that second row, again while loop, rs.next. It will call for third time. When it call for third time, what will happen? False. Why false? No record. If there is no record, it will fail. rs.next false. While false, come out from the loop. That's it, completed. If you have 10 records, if you have 1000 records, that while loop is sufficient to get all the records and print on the console. Are you clear? If you go for if condition, what is the problem? It will just move one step. It will just move one step. If you go for while loop, it will keep on moving the cursor to next position until the rows are available. If there is no row available, next method will give false. If the next method gives false, this loop will be terminated. Are you clear, guys? Good. Yeah. Next, note down this code. Note down this code. No need to take everything, just to take that main method, class main method. Variables you no need to write. That while loop will execute until condition is true. Correct. Until the rows are present, loop will execute. If no rows available, loop will terminate. Completed? Yes. Note while loop will execute the code until condition is true. While loop will execute the code until condition is true. While loop will execute the code until condition is true. While loop will execute until condition is true. Yeah. You just take the result set part. No need to take the database table. You just take this diagram of result set. You will understand 2 times we moved that cursor. Third move giving the false. 2 moves it give true. For third move it is giving false. That means 2 records available in the table. If you take complete diagram, no problem. Just take up to result set part. Cursor moving. Completed, guys? Yeah. Next, make a note. By default, result set cursor will move only in forward direction. By default, result set cursor will move only in forward direction. Note, by default result set cursor will move in forward direction. By default, result set cursor will move in forward direction. We can make, based on the requirement, we can make it as bidirectional. Based on the requirement, we can make it as bidirectional. That means cursor can move in the forward direction as well as in the backward direction also. But whatever the result set we are getting, what is the default behavior of that? It will move only in the forward direction. If required, we can move in the backward direction also. In tomorrow's session, we will discuss types of result set. Okay, forward direction, bidirectional, sensitive result set, insensitive result set. Like that, there are several types of result sets available. We will discuss them in the tomorrow's class. Now, I have a question. If you visit our website, I will ask some question. Tell me how we need to write the code. If you go to online training, when you click on online training, you can see new batches schedules in a table. New batches schedules in a table. So which query will execute in our program? Which query will execute? Non-select query or select query? Select query. Why select query? Because it has to retrieve what are the online training batches available in our institute. Online training batches data will be available in the database. Administrator will schedule a online batch. I will give information to admin team. Tomorrow, DevOps batch is going to start by so and so faculty, so and so time, and I will tell to admin team. Admin team will create that meeting in the Zoom. They will insert the data in the database. When they schedule a online batch, we have a admin login for our website. They will enter all the details of the course. They will click on submit button. Then what? I will show you that. 1 minute. Yeah. So if you go to admin team, if you go to admin login of our website, 1 minute. Yeah. Admin panel is available, guys. Here, batch schedules are available. Schedule a new batch. When the new batch is starting, they are going to add enroll course. When they click on add enroll course, what will happen? What is the course? What is the code of the course? Whether it is online or offline? What is the fees for the course? Course offer fees, rating, who is the trainer? What is the duration, timing, status, cover page, backup videos fees, start date, end date, Zoom link, passcode, bit.ly link, Telegram link. There are so many fields available. They will enter the data in the fields. They will click on submit button. Then which query will execute in the background? Insert query. Insert query will execute. When they are scheduling a new batch, insert query will execute. How to execute insert query in the database? Execute update, because insert query is nothing but it is a non-select query. When admin submit the data and click on this button, when admin fill the data in the form and click on submit, that record will be inserted to database table. That operation will be done by using execute update. Now, as a student, you want to see what all the new batches starting in Ashok IT online batches. You will go to website. There is a menu, training schedules, online training. So what is happening when you click on online training? What is happening when you click on online training? It is retrieving all the records from the table, displaying in the front end. In the database table, our batch schedules are available. Those batch schedules are displaying in the front end. Which query will be executed? Select query, right? Select start from batch schedule where training mode is equal to online. Okay, classroom batches will be available, online batches will be available. When you go for this online training, online batches are coming. Which query will execute in my Java? Select query. How to execute select query? Execute query. Now, does my program knows how many records are there in the database? Does my program know how many records in the database? My program don't know how many records available in the database. So what logic we will write? If rs.next, while rs.next, if rs.next or while rs.next, while rs.next. Why only while rs.next? Because my project don't know how many rows are there in the database. If there are 10 rows, 10 times it has to move the cursor. 10 rows should print here. If there are only 5 rows, cursor should move only for 5 times. So now, whenever we are writing a program, we don't know how many rows will be available in the table. So we will go for if rs.next, or we will go for while rs.next, while rs.next. When to go for if rs.next, when to go for while rs.next. If you are retrieving a single record, then you will move the cursor only one time. If you are retrieving multiple records, you don't know how many records will come, then you will move the cursor multiple times by using while condition. Now I will give you one scenario. Let us go for login page. Okay. So now, what is the meaning of login functionality in the website, guys? Now, so I have a login page. Username and password. Okay, let me sign out. Now I will click on login button. So now how we will retrieve the record from the database now? I'm giving my email ID and password. I already registered. My account is available in the database. Now user is trying to log in. When user is trying to log in, user will give email ID, user will give the password, and we will click on login button. So when I enter email ID and password and click on login, how we will execute the query? Are we going to execute select star from users table? Are we going to execute select star from users table? No. Why? Come on, why? It is for one user record. We need to verify the credentials of one user. Can you tell me the query? Select star from table where email ID is equal to given value, password is equal to given value. If the given username and password is correct, how many records I will get? Only one record. So at that time, I need to use if rs.next or while rs.next. When I go for login functionality, I will get only one record. When I go for batch schedule, I will get more than one record. So when to use if rs.next, when to use while rs.next. Got the clarity? Yes, when we are implementing login functionality, based on the email ID and password, we are going to retrieve the record. Maximum one record will be available with the given email ID and password. Sometimes record may not available. What is the meaning of record may not available? I am giving my email ID and password. This is incorrect password. I clicked on login. What I am getting now? Why I am getting invalid credentials? In my result set, there is no row. How I will know that row is available in the result set, row is not available in the result set? When I call rs.next, if it is false, no record. That means what? Given email ID password not matching, there is no record, credentials are invalid. If I give email ID password, when I execute that query, I got the row rs.next true. What is the meaning of that? Matching, record found. That means there is a record with the given email ID and password. That is a successful login. That is a successful login. You understand? Can you relate what the topic we discussed today with respect to our website? So when the batch is scheduling, execute update, record will be inserted to table. When you implement login functionality based on the email ID and password, we will retrieve the record. At max, one record can be available, sometimes zero record. If zero records, rs.next false. User given invalid credential. If you get record from the table, that means credentials are valid. If you don't get the record from the table, credentials are invalid. So based on that logic, we will decide whether we need to allow the user to log in into our website or we need to display invalid credentials message. Are you able to understand, guys? All these things we are going to implement in the servlets, right? Once we come into servlet, we are going to develop a web application. So I will develop a web page like this. I will give you a form. When we enter the data in the form, that data I will capture. I will execute my JDBC program. My JDBC program will communicate with the database. My JDBC program will tell me record is available or record is not available. If record is available, I will allow the user to log in. If record is not available, I will display invalid credentials message. So with respect to project, we are going to learn that code. Okay, guys. Always you need to understand which topic we are learning, where we will use the topic in the project. Then you will understand the actual purpose of the topic. Result set. What is the purpose of result set? It is used to store the data. Whenever we execute a select query, we will get the records from the table. Records will be available in the result set. Result set will maintain a cursor. Cursor always will point to current row. But initially cursor will be available before first row. How to move the cursor to next row? Next method. What is the return type of next method? Boolean. When we will get a true if there is a record. When we will get the false if there is no record. Clear? What is the purpose of execute update? What is the purpose of execute update? Come on. Execute update. To execute a non-select query. What is the return type of execute update? number of rows affected by that query. Okay, can I give you a task now? Yeah, assignment. Develop user registration and user login functionality. Develop user registration and user login functionality. User registration and user login functionality. For registration and login, read the data from keyboard. For registration and login, read the data from keyboard. For registration and login, read the data from keyboard. Next point. We should not insert user record with duplicate email. We should not insert user record with duplicate email. You will register a user. It will ask you to enter email ID, password, mobile number, gender. Insert the data. When I'm inserting a second user, if the email ID is a duplicate, it should tell that email already exists. Choose a different mail ID. Understood? Yep. If any user is trying to register, if any user trying to register with duplicate email, application should show error message. Application should show error message. Develop user registration and user login functionality. For registration and login, read the data from keyboard. We should not insert user record with duplicate email. If any user trying to register with duplicate email, application should show error message. Okay, now observe. Once you start the application, it should ask two options. Do you want to register? Do you want to log in? Understand? Whenever you run a program, it should ask a menu. It should display a menu. Choose one option. Registration, login. When you select one as a registration, then what it will ask? Enter email ID, enter password, enter date of birth, enter phone number. Then insert the record. Blindly, are we going to insert the record or we will validate the email? We will validate the email. What validation? If that email already taken by someone, that record should not be inserted. If that email ID not available in the database, then only record should be inserted. After the registration is completed, what should happen? User created successfully. Do you want to log in? Ask the option, do you want to log in? Yes. When you enter yes, it should ask enter email ID, enter password. Given email ID, password are incorrect, then what will happen? Invalid credential. If credentials are valid, welcome to our project. That's it. No, only one. I mean, you need to insert the record in the database, right? Why we need array? You can insert multiple people also, right? Multiple people can do the registration. So my requirement is you will develop one program, you will run that program. When you run that program, it will give option. Do you want to register or do you want to log in? First you will enter register. When you enter register, what will happen? It will ask data. Enter the data. Name, email, password, mobile number. Insert it. Okay. After inserting, what it will display? Do you want to log in? If you want to log in, yes. Then it will ask enter email ID, enter password. I will enter email ID and password. If I give incorrect, invalid credentials, program will be stopped. Again, I will run that. It will ask, do you want to register or do you want to log in? I want to register. Again, I am registering with the same mail ID which I registered earlier. Then what should happen? Then what should happen? It should say email ID is already exit. It should stop the application. Are you clear with my point? You understand the requirement? Some thinking is required. You think and you try to implement it. Today, we are developing this program by reading data from keyboard. When it comes to servlet, we will develop web pages for the same requirement. Now we don't know servlet. That's why we are developing the program by taking data from keyboard. Tomorrow, same project, we will develop by using web pages with the help of servlets. Are you guys clear? Anybody not able to understand the requirement? Any questions on the requirement? If you implement the project, then only you will understand the concept. Just understanding the concept is not sufficient. You need to use it and you need to develop a project, then only you will get the practical knowledge. If you implement this project, that means I can say that you understood JDBC. Purely JDBC logic you need to develop for achieving this requirement. Already you know how to read the data from keyboard. Scanner class you will use it. But how you will write the JDBC code to develop this project, that matters a lot. Fine. Any questions on the requirement? Any questions on the requirement? Understood? Yes. Chalo. We'll continue tomorrow. Thank you guys. For Java full guys, once again, for Java full stack people, Spring Boot microservices will start in month of February. Today's batch is not for us because still we are not done with the prerequisites to attend the Spring. Once we complete servlets, then you can attend the Spring. Okay. So now you need to focus only on the advanced Java. That's it. Thank you.